daughter's first single you just heard there. More about her later. Well, good afternoon, everybody. I am privileged to tell you about one of my favourite things. Not me, but network marketing. I've been in network marketing now for over 30 years, and with Forever for over 29 years. So I've been around the block a little bit. And I have to say that I love network marketing. It's completely changed my life, and I've been in a privileged enough position to change the lives of thousands of other people around the world. And the reason that I love network marketing so much is that there's a basic philosophy. And the philosophy is we all rise or we don't rise at all. Because you can only be successful in network marketing by helping other people to rise with you. And that's been part of my philosophy since I understood and bothered to learn about network marketing. And I say that because so many people join this incredible industry and never bother to learn. There are books you can read. There are trainings you can attend or do online. There are podcasts you can listen to. There are umpteen YouTube videos you can watch. And all of this can help to grow your understanding of the industry that you're involved in. And it's important to get a perspective on the industry, not just on Forever. I mean, I happen to think that Forever is the best network marketing company in the entire industry, and if I didn't, I wouldn't be here. Because trust me, there are plenty of other companies out there, and I've been pitched by plenty of other companies. But I've never found another company that could hold a candle to Forever. So if you're here for the first time, I can promise you you're in the right room. It doesn't mean it won't be hard, because building anything is hard. If you want to be a success in professional sport, you have to be prepared to put the time and effort in, to do the training. And I don't just mean physical training, because we all know successful sports people also do mental training. If you look at any successful person, I mean, Ema Raducanu, who was the first ever qualifier to win the New York Open last year, she actually said that she's been mentally training herself in case that opportunity presented itself. And we have to do exactly the same thing. What I want to do is give you a brief overview of some of the important things in network marketing that I have found along the way. So the first thing is that network marketing is endorsed by hundreds of successful and famous people. And I'm just going to bounce through a few here for you. Jim Rohn, who was, again, in my personal opinion, probably the greatest personal development coach that there has ever been. And he said, network marketing is the big wave of the future. It's taking the place of franchising, which now requires too much capital for the average person. I mean, today, if you want to buy a franchise, even a little man in a van or woman in a van franchise, don't want to be sexist, even if you were to buy one of those, just one of those cleaning franchises would cost you 20 to 25 grand. And a cleaning why would you pay someone that amount of money to go and clean someone else's toilet? I mean, just buy your own bloody bog brush. Brian Tracy. Some of you may know him. Eat That Frog. The future of network marketing is unlimited. There's no end in sight. It will continue to grow because better people are getting into it. Soon, it will be one of the most respected business methods in the world. Stephen Covey, 7 Habits. Network marketing has come of age. It's undeniable that it's become a way to entrepreneurship and independence for millions of people. Bill Gates. If I'd be given a chance to start all over again, I would choose network marketing. Richard Branson. I'm a tremendous believer in network marketing, and I'm a great believer in entrepreneurs. Les Brown. I go way back in multi-level marketing. I can tell you unequivocally that to a dreamer, there's no business that will contribute to your growth and development more than this industry. Robert Kiyosaki. One of the reasons I consider a direct selling business perfect business is simply because the company will work with you to get the business skills that will make you rich. Always remember, it's not money that makes you rich, it's business skills. The other part of it is the low startup cost. Now just think for a moment about the people you've seen. Why would those people endorse network marketing? The only person I know who's had a network marketing company out of all of those is Richard Branson. There was a company once called Virgin Cosmetics. It's no longer around. They were bought by another company and absorbed into another company. So why would all those other people endorse this industry if they didn't really feel it was as life-changing as they said? So credibility. Our industry has credibility. Now, one of the things people don't really get about network marketing compared to something else is that you normally would use money to make money. The challenge with that, of course, is you have to have some money to start. If you don't have money, building a productive team allows you to generate an income far greater than you could earn from your own efforts. And what do we call this? We call it multiplying your time or time leverage. Let me explain what I mean. So you join the business. You can, I'm going to use an arbitrary figure of 10 hours a week. You can put in 10 hours a week. Maybe you're holding down a full-time job. Maybe you're looking after kids. Maybe you're semi-retired and enjoying your retirement, but just want to keep busy. I mean, there's hundreds of reasons, thousands of reasons why people get involved in network marketing. You're putting in 10 hours, you earn 100% on the effort that you put in, on the sales that you make, which means that you're being paid on 10 hours. Does that make sense? And let's say over time you find 5 other people, and they're putting in 10 hours a week each. And they would be earning the same as you were. They'd be earning 100% on their own efforts. But that's as an arbitrary figure, because over the years, and Jane would agree with this, we found that generally on our open business, you earn an average of 10%. That would mean you're going to be paid on the equivalent of full time on 5 hours. Does that make sense? And they find 5 people. 10 hours a week each, 250 hours, you're being paid an average of 3%, which means you're going to be earning a full-time amount on 7.5 of those hours. 125, you're going to be earning on 12.5 full-time hours. 625, you're going to be earning 62.5 hours. 3,125 people, you're going to be earning on 312.5 hours, meaning in total, if you build a large organization, you're going to be earning off the equivalent of 100% on 410 hours a week. Now, I've used the arbitrary figure of 10 hours a week because we all know some people do this full time. So some people might be putting in 30 or 40 hours a week. I know some people starting their businesses that literally gave their businesses 60 or 70 hours a week. In fact, when I joined, I was probably I was part-time for the first 2 years. I joined on the 17th of August 1993, so it was my 29th birthday, month before last. And when I went full-time in July 1995, I was probably putting in 60 to 70 hours a week to get my business going. And I think I was driving all over the country. Jane was doing exactly the same thing. I know other people. Diana was doing exactly the same thing. Chris and Alan were doing exactly the same thing. Ashley and Louise. We put the time in because we understood this. We understood that what we were doing was building a business where we would earn a fraction on what the people in our team would earn, because everyone earns 100% on their own efforts, on their own sales. But what I could see was I could be earning on hundreds, if not thousands of hours work a week. That's the power of what we do. That's why sometimes you hear about people earning incomes in network marketing that are almost beyond comprehension. It's because of this time leverage. The other thing I love about, or one of the other things I love about network marketing is that it's a low startup cost. I mean, Kiyosaki mentioned that in one of the first slides. Generally, it takes money to make money, but not in network marketing. In network marketing, what you're really investing is your time. Now, £200 for our starter pack. That's actually the law in this country. You can't buy more than £200 worth of products in the first 7 days. And sometimes I think that's a double-edged sword, because some people, they buy their starter box, but 200 quid isn't enough to get them off their arse and doing some work. I mean, you know, you see people, they buy the box, you sponsor somebody, they buy the box, you go around to their house, the telly's there, the box is there, and they're going, telly, box, telly, when's my business going to magically appear? Because they think buying the box is the magic thing. Buying the box is merely indicating you're involved. Whether you do any activity is the important thing. Unlimited potential. This is not a job. There is no salary, which means there is no limit on what you can earn. And in fact, it benefits the company to keep earnings uncapped, because it means that anyone who has big dreams, big ambitions, big goals can continue to work and continue to grow their income. Again, I am not saying it's easy. But what I am saying is that there is no limits. And it's up to you how far you want to push that no limit envelope. And this, I think, is one of my favorites, is it doesn't matter where you start. It doesn't matter whether you live in a tiny little village or in a big city. I started building my business when I lived in London. I moved out of London in 2017. I moved down to a beautiful part of the world, West Sussex, a little village called Rudgwick, which is in between Guildford and Horsham, if you know that area. And I'm still building my business. I mean, obviously, being in London, there are quite a few million people you can bump into just walking around, catching the tube, getting on the bus. But I'm building as equally a good business where I am, in a small village with maybe a few hundred people in, as I was when I lived in London. So number one, it doesn't matter where you live. Number two, it doesn't matter what your level of education is. There are people who are being successful in network marketing who've never had a formal education. There are people in other countries who have never attended school. And yet they're building successful businesses. There may be people in this room who perhaps left school with, I was going to say O-levels then, that shows my age. Anyone remember O-levels? Yeah, I'm not the only one. Who left school with GCSEs. There may be other people in this room who've got master's degrees. Any master's degrees in the room? Oh, you look at you, smarty pants. Any PhDs? Oh, there's a PhD right there. Fab. Really? So it doesn't matter what your level of education is, because it's not down to education, it's down to desire. How badly do you want it? It doesn't matter what your previous work experience is. I mean, we heard today from Ghazala, who came over from Iran, and she was a fully trained architect. I mean, you wouldn't have thought an architect, network marketing, where's the tie in there? There's no sales in architecture. And yet she's building a successful business. Just as Jane came from a farming background. Diana came from a corporate background. Chris, what were you in? Marketing, darling, of course you were. I worked in the city, so I had 10 very unhappy years working in the city. Gender. Doesn't matter what sex you are, or indeed, if you're confused about your sex. You can build a successful business. I don't know why people are laughing at that. I think it's a pretty relevant topic, isn't it? In fact, ladies, you are definitely in the right room because there is a far higher percentage of successful women in network marketing.
Of course.
What do you mean, of course, Joe? Don't give me that female empowerment bullshit. Which actually my daughter's song is about, if you listen to the lyrics.
But I'm a diamond manager, Adam.
Yes, you are. It doesn't matter what race you are. I mean, you could be green from Mars and you could build a network marketing business. Forever is in over 160 countries, and there are people building successful businesses in all of those countries. I mean, we've heard from Iceland, crikey. They've got more sheep over there than they have people, don't you? Mind you, so is Wales, let's be honest. Jane. And it doesn't matter what religion you are. Christian, Muslim, Buddhist, a-religious, it doesn't matter. Anyone can be successful. And this is what I love. I think more than anything, this is what I love about network marketing, is whatever you're coming from, wherever you're coming from, you can be successful. It's also a ready-made business. Every company, and us in particular, we have one of the most comprehensive ways to start. We have trainings, we have the First Steps to Manage a training manual, we have all the systems in place. We keep you informed. I mean, Jane did a fabulous presentation this morning about the contents of the new box, because we like to keep people up to speed with what's going on. We don't treat you like mushrooms, which so many corporations do. If you understand my reference to mushrooms, keep you in the dark and feed you. And there are no overheads. I mean, you work from home, so you're going to be heating your home anyway, aren't you? No. Lighting your home? No, nobody's going to be that. I agree with you. Say, we're back to Georgian times. Get the old bloody candles out, loves. Fortunately, we've got a wood-burning stove and an open fire in our home, so yeah, I've told Lizzie we're not turning the heating on till Christmas. So you're working from home. These are the things that you'd be doing anyway. So these aren't really that big overheads. I mean, maybe a bit of petrol. I mean, I'm guessing most people drove here today. Perhaps you car shared. You had to buy your Success Day tickets, but not an exorbitant price for a full day's training. And a bit of fun, we hope. You don't employ anyone. You're not paying national insurance. You don't have to have lease or hire or rent premises. So just before I started in network marketing, I started a business with a couple of colleagues in the city, and we rented very expensive offices in Victoria, which is an expensive part of London. And we obviously had to heat it, light it. We put in a 40-line switchboard. No mobile phones then, or very few mobile phones. We had the old word processors. Anyone remember those? Pre-computers. All of that kind of stuff. And it cost us a fortune. We had a couple of company cars banging around the place. We were obviously employing people, national insurance. Anyway, suffice to say, we had a financial crash, the business went bust, and I lost everything. And I had to start all over again. One of the best things that ever happened to me. But when I came across network marketing, because of that experience, I understood the power of this slide. And the amazing thing is, you are already doing it. There's a very handsome boy up there. Not me. That is Pip. Anyone who follows me on Insta or Facebook will already have fallen in love with Pip, as we have. He has literally stolen my heart. And don't tell the wife that. And he was really my saviour in lockdown, because I would walk him every single day. It gave me an opportunity to get out. And he was always there to comfort all the family when we all needed comforting. But you're already doing it. How many of you have recommended a film to someone you knew? Yes? Or a TV series? Not allowed to watch TV. However, if you do watch TV, on Amazon Prime, there's a great detective series called Bosch. Just want to say that. Anyone seen Bosch? Any Bosch fans in the room? Yeah, I knew there'd be a few. Books. How many of you have recommended a book to someone else? A restaurant. Anyone ever been for a fabulous meal and bumped into a friend? You've got to go to this restaurant. It's incredible. Clothing. Who ever comes across a nice piece of clothing and tells their friends about it and recommends that, or even says, I say to people, this would really suit you. I'm always saying to Lizzie, my wife, this would really suit you. We can't afford it, but it would really suit you. Tradesmen. Aren't good tradesmen like gold dust? Literally. So if I come across a good tradesman, I treat them well, I look after them, I make sure I pay them when they want paying. If they're doing work for me over Christmas, or if it's their birthday, I'll even give them little bonuses and stuff. And I recommend them to people. Not to everyone, obviously, because I want them to still have time to work for me, but I will recommend them to close friends who live near us. Food. Lizzie, for various reasons, has recently turned vegan, and we've been getting lots of recommendations from people about great vegan food. Dog walking. If you come across if you need to have somebody walk your dog, if you come across a good dog walker, or dog sitter, or house sitter, you recommend them. Any great business works by recommendation. Has anyone done any of these? Put your hands up. Everyone should put your hand up, because you've all done this. How much did you get paid for making that recommendation? Nil. Zilch. Nada. Zero. Nothing. And yet, that is what we all do in network marketing. We are already doing this. We're just not getting paid for it. It's time to fall in love with the products and start making money from recommending them. Now, don't get me wrong, we're in sales. Anyone who says we're not in sales, I don't know where they're living. Definitely not this planet. But there's a difference between selling / recommending something you believe in and being a sales person. Do you all understand the distinction? And that is why you need to fall in love with these products. And these products have helped me and my family enormously over the 29 years since I started with Forever. Because if they hadn't, I wouldn't be here. Why would I be standing in front of a room of people? Most people here aren't in my business. Just like every other speaker, most people here aren't in their business. Why would we be standing here saying this if we didn't believe in the products? Right deep down, strip away everything else we've been talking about. If we didn't believe in the products, why would we be up here? And personal development. I mean, what a journey I've been on since I discovered personal development. And I discovered personal development thanks to network marketing. If you come to my house, I had to build more shelves to keep all of my personal development books and network marketing books. I have hundreds. I mean, if you want to do yourself a favor, go and make friends with Barry outside. A couple of the people whose slides I pulled up earlier, there's a brilliant little Jim Rohn guide to goal setting. Business of the 21st Century by Robert Kiyosaki. There are so many great books out there, not just network marketing books, but personal development books. And remember what one of the quotes said earlier. It said that it's not, I think it was Robert Kiyosaki, it's not the money you earn, it's the skills you learn. And one of the things that we learn when we're in network marketing is we learn about ourselves. We learn how tough we are. We learn how resilient we are. We learn how to get up when we're knocked down. We learn how to celebrate others. We learn how to recognize others. We learn how to coach others. We learn how to put our arms around people and hug them when they need a hug. We learn all of this thanks to the personal development that we are introduced to in network marketing. You will never find an industry that will give you the opportunity to learn so many skills than this one that you're in, right here, and with this company, Forever Living Products, right here. And there are so many intangibles. Things like friendships. I have made some truly lifelong friendships because of my involvement with Forever. In fact, I would go so far as to say I've made more friendships in my 30-odd years with Forever than I made in the previous 30-odd years of my life. Yes, I know, I am that old. I look bloody good though, don't you think? I've travelled the world. I've literally been as far north as Alaska and as far south as the South Island of New Zealand. Paid for by Forever. I've been to Canada. I've been all over North America. I've been to Mexico. I've been to Brazil. I've been all over Europe. I've been all over Africa. I've been all over Southeast Asia. I've been to Australia and New Zealand. Paid for by Forever. I've been on over 50 rallies with Forever. 50 different places all over the world. If I'd stayed working in the city, I've no doubt I'd have been successful, but I very much doubt whether I would have been able to see the places that I have. And family. I've spent more time with my family than I've wanted to. No, that's sorry, I didn't. Joke. I absolutely love spending time with my family. It's great to be able to spend time with my wife Lizzie. Particularly over the last 3 years, we've literally been together 24 hours a day. And I hope you'll indulge me for a bit because I want to talk about my kids. Because one of the things that being involved in network marketing has done is it's allowed me to raise strong, creative, proud, independent children. So Ella has just released her first single. That's her Spotify thing. I just want to read you a little bit as to why she wrote that song. And if you haven't listened to it, I would really love you to listen to it, obviously, because it's my daughter. But I want you to read why she wrote this song. I wrote when I got back into music after the first lockdown was over. I drove down to Jamie Rendell's family farm. We got on like a house on fire, and he showed me the bones of a track he had an idea about. It was around the time of Sarah Everard, and we both couldn't stop talking about it. We started chatting about victim blaming and what a pile of shit it was. We wanted to write a call to arms about this double standard, a rallying cry for my sexy girls, guys, gays, and those who want to wear what they want, drink what they want, and do what they want, none of which invites any unwanted behaviour. It's also a bop, and it is a bop. And do you know what? I went to her first gig on Thursday night, a couple of nights ago. There were 120 people in this small crowd, and they were all singing this song back to her. I mean, what an amazing feeling. If you do play it on Spotify, read the lyrics. Honestly, they're astonishingly good. Then we have this boy who left university. He got a degree in economics from Bristol, didn't want to go become an accountant, work in the city, do any of those boring things. Apologies to any accountants or boring people in the room. But he always wanted to get into the music side of business. And when he was starting to get in, of course, then lockdown came along, COVID came along, and for three and a bit years, he was knocking on doors, trying to get a job, phoning up chief executives of record companies, music companies, inviting them out for a coffee just to pick their brains. He got a job, but of course, he then lost it because they started reducing staff. He was last in, first out. He got a few consultancies paying him a few £100 a month. And then about 4 or 5 weeks ago, he was offered a job by GMB, which is one of the biggest music companies in the UK. And 2 days later, he was offered a job by a startup company run by 2 incredible guys who've been very successful in music. He asked my advice. I said, where are you going to learn more? He said, with the startup. It doesn't pay as much. I said, go with the startup. It's what you learn that's important. He went with that, and he is, oh my God, he's got his first big job. I'm so excited for him. And do you know what? He did it because he kept knocking on doors. He never gave up. He networked and knocked on doors and bought people coffee. And he's also really good at, once he's got somebody in his network, he stays in touch with them. And that's a lesson for all of us. Then there's this girl, who's now a makeup artist, Alice. And she's very ADHD. When she gets into something, though, she's completely focused and passionate about it, and this suits her down to the ground. She works in a shop 3 days a week to pay the bills, but she's building her clientele in the makeup business. And then there's this girl, who wants to be in musical theatre. She's got 1 year left of school, and I promise you, she is so focused. She's the kind of kid that comes home from school and goes straight up to her room to do her homework. I mean, she's the kind of girl that there's a part up in a play, and she will rehearse the entire play in order to make sure that whatever part they ask her to audition with, she's able to do it. If anyone's going to make it in musical theatre, I would put my money on her. And the reason that they are the way they are is because they've grown up around network marketing too. They've grown up about me celebrating and crying and laughing and crying and talking about personal development and practicing personal development. They've seen how hard I worked. They saw how much discipline it was needed to build a successful business. Personal discipline. And they've seen that in action and they've taken that. When my kids were small, I used to pay them £5 to read a personal development book. I got a picture of George when he was 12, lying on the sofa reading Jim Rohn's 7 Strategies for Wealth and Happiness. And he actually read it. So I gave him his £5. And I tell you what, it was a £5 well spent. And the reason I'm telling you this is because if you have children, this is such an intangible, but it will, honestly, your association with this business will rub off on your kids. And I've seen lots of nodding heads while I've been talking, because there are lots of people who've been in forever for a few years who have had exactly the same experience with their kids. This is a byproduct, an intangible. And I want to wrap up by saying, being involved in network marketing is about living a rich life. It's not what you acquire, it's who you become, how you change. Because at the end of the day, we all only have a certain number of years to live. And what we want to do is pack in as much as we can in every minute, in every hour, in every day. And network marketing allows you to do just that. So my wish for all of you, apart from obviously listening to Ella's single, my wish for all of you is that you too take this business seriously. You understand the power in this business, and that you are able to build yourselves and help other people build rich lives. Thank you.